Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. I'm here with Brad DeBerti. By the way, if you don't already follow and subscribe to Brad's channel, I highly recommend you do. He will show you some super funny stuff, some crazy driving, and what Brad's offered to do before we even get going on this video. This is a pressure washer. Brad, while we're here today, has offered he will make this into an Autotopia LA one-of-one pressure washer in existence. So this is a $1,500 pressure washer that I can't believe you're doing this, by the way, dude. If you subscribe to both Autotopia LA and Brad DeBerti's channels, you like this video and you comment on this video and you tell us your favorite part about the C10 Slayer that we're about to shoot, we're gonna randomly pick one winner and somebody's gonna get this $1,500 Autotopia LA high pressure washer. How badass is that?
One of you guys are gonna get this, and I think it'll be pretty cool, but yeah, let's just jump straight into the truck.
Badass. I'm kind of bummed I'm not gonna win it. So we've been watching this build for 2 years when you started this, right?
Yeah.
This is gonna be a completely different vehicle. Woo!
If you guys haven't already seen, go check out the Tacoma episode we shot with Brad.
That was a fun day.
And as radical and extreme as that truck is, which it is, it really is. But this one, dude, it's a bit cartoonish, not in a bad way, but it's so over the top in every
It's out of place.
I love what you guys do and that you're willing to go as crazy as you do, as out of the box as you go. But you guys actually make stuff that really, truly works because you drive the piss out of things.
I have a history of breaking a lot of things. My dad and I, we have a unique relationship, for those that don't know, father-son, and we just like to build different. You know, he has his ways that he's dead set in, and I have my ways that I'm okay to bend a little bit, you know? C10 Slayer was a truck after the Tacoma that I'm like, man, you know, the Tacoma was a fun build, but how do we make something like that, but just polar opposite? And that's where this came from. And originally we made a rendering of it, and I actually posted on my Instagram, and it went crazy. It really like got me excited and like driven me to be like, all right, let's make it just like that.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know this truck already, which I'd find it hard to believe that there's anyone out there that hasn't seen this, what prompted to do 6 friggin' wheels and tires on this truck?
I've seen a lot of 6-wheel drive trucks. I've never seen a truck that proportionally had the right fender design. When I build vehicles with my dad, since I've been a kid, I've worked with the Ford design team since I've literally been a kid, and working with guys like that, you really start to see like design, because like those guys are so hardcore. That's their whole world. And so when I wanted to build this truck, I'm like, let's just throw, you know, another axle on it. Let's make sure it actually works. It's full driven dual axle in the rear. And I wanted to make it to where you see the detail. I didn't want to put a bed on it because you would have lost all the creativity that took us hours and hours to build.
You did start with an actual C10 though, right?
I shouldn't have, but we started with the C10 supposedly that was rust-free. The problem is, me and my dad, we like messing around. I was like, Dad, let's jump this thing. We're gonna change the chassis anyway. So we go in the backyard. I build 1-foot ramp. He launches this thing. I mean, launches it. I didn't think he was gonna go that hard.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
When he landed, every part of the frame broke. Every piece of Bondo busted out of the truck, and the truck was annihilated. I'm just like, we were both in shock. We're like, oh, we thought it was just gonna be.
Expecting that to happen.
But that's what turned into this, and I'm glad that happened, because it's not that we're, you know, being careless and tearing up a vehicle. We're just having fun because we were changing the chassis anyway. But once I seen how much rust was on the truck, this is the first like older style vehicle I've built, and there was so much rust, we just had to cut it all to do it right. So floorboards came out, the entire shell of the truck came apart. I cut from the door line all the way down, replaced all the rockers, did everything. The whole floor pan in it is 100% handmade. The firewall, everything is handmade on this truck. Really the only thing that's factory is the roof line and the front windows. The doors aren't even factory. We had to tune all those in and get new doors as well.
You guys, again, full chassis underneath. Is it a full custom one that you guys built?
So the original plan was, hey, let's just have a chassis built with our geometry. Let's just set the truck on it and finally have a truck that we're not building for a year and just go enjoy.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen. So the original chassis, Scott's Hot Rod built the whole thing, and it was so gorgeous. Everything's all mandrel bent in the rear. everything was just gorgeous. We wanted the truck to be able to have 5 inches of ride height. So you push a button and all the shocks come up 5 inches, or you could slam the truck. Like the truck only sits at 1 inch off the ground for show.
Yeah.
But that's what it started as. And I was basically starting fresh. So I had to go through, my dad and we fully caged the thing front to back. I had to make so many different mounts just to hold things and make things look proper. We had to ditch the bed, but I wanted like it to feel like a truck. So
Which is so wild that there's a tailgate on the back of this thing.
yeah, so I cut off all the bed sides and I had to weld the rear tail lights and everything to the actual tailgate. So this part used to be part of the fender.
Right.
So that's all welded to be stationary. And then the wide body was very interesting on this truck. It's very complex to make it work. On a normal 1965 C10, the hoods on these things are massive.
Yep.
So the hood is usually this whole thing.
Oh, that's right.
So when you open it, like it's heavy too.
Yeah.
So the only way to make this wide body work was we actually had to cut the hood, make this part of the hood stationary to connect to the wide body. And then now, when you open up the hood, it's its own smaller, thinner hood. But the wide body designed many hours in the computer. One of my buddies, John, he has this company called ADV Fiberglass, and they usually make like a bunch of like high-end pre-runner parts. And he is my age, and it scared me at first until I seen what this kid was doing, and we machined this whole body out of foam. The rear fenders, the front diffuser, the little side pieces, the wing that actually is connected on the back of the cab. All that is machined out of a massive chunks of foam.
That creates your mold, and then from there you pull your parts in fiberglass?
Yep. And what that does is it makes a perfect part. And we scan the truck left to right, and these older trucks are never the same.
Yeah.
This fender is different than this side.
That one.
So we couldn't just like say, hey, machine one and flip it. Like it just wouldn't work. There's so many hours in this truck, I would say a few thousand. But really it started off as supposed to be a rat rod. And then it turned to, let's do a show truck. And now it's basically like a race truck that I'm a little scared to hurt.
Although we see you ripping out in the Hoonigan yard with it, so I know you're not too scared.
I have fun with it, but I respect this truck. This isn't the Toyota to me. The Toyota, I beat that truck.
And it just takes it, huh?
Yeah, and I'm not scared to if I have to run it into a wall because we're sliding side of it, if I run this into a wall, it's a bad day.
Yeah.
So let's hope that don't happen.
Yeah,
today.
please.
The power plant is very interesting. This is where my dad comes in. He's like, dude, let's do like a Mad Max theme. And that's exactly how he talks when he gets excited. He's like, let's go crazy. Big the engine is. So he shows me all these pictures. I'm like, it's gonna be a little blind spot, but I think that would be cool, And so the awesome part is I don't know how they got my message, but I happened to message Chevy. I said, hey, here's my project. I need an engine that I could, have forced induction on, boost. And so what they did is they set me up. This is an LSX B15, it's called. Okay. And it's basically a factory crate engine that you could, from the factory, turbo it, procharge it, or throw a supercharger.
Got you.
So
you don't have to do anything. No. It's ready for boost.
Turnkey. My favorite part is you're not spending like $50,000 to have a custom motor. You're spending fraction of the cost that a full race motor would be.
Yeah. Like it's supercharged, obviously.
So we wanted to go as big as we possibly could. Yeah. So Whipple, they make the best supercharger in the game, I think personally, because they always push it to the limits. On top of this is another fuel injected 8-stack. So there's actually another set of injectors in this. Chevrolet and HP tuners, we're using a factory ECU. And so they were able to tune this thing to accept all the injectors and make this whole build work. And that was pretty important to Chevy because they like to market this motor to a normal consumer, just buying it and using it.
You and your dad definitely aren't normal, that's for sure.
No, I'd say we're not.
Not the normal consumer.
But, we couldn't do it without also the partners, and that's what's nice, having support, because I couldn't have done that myself.
Can we pop it to see? I've never seen the exposed engine except for in images and videos and stuff. Hey guys, before we get going with the rest of this episode, today's episode's being brought to you by Factor. Factor's a meal replacement company that I've discovered recently. And there's a few things that caught my interest immediately about Factor. Number one, it's all fresh food. I like good fresh food. Number two, I'm genuinely busy, so what I typically do is skip lunch every day, not good. And I'm so hungry when I get home that I just go to a delivery service, The cost of that is just extreme. I mean, I spend way more money in a month than I should admit to. Number two is, when I get home, I am hungry, so I want to eat right away, and now I've got to figure out what I'm going to get. Then I order it, and then I sit and wait for my food to show up. What I like that I'm finding out here with Factor, especially after tasting their food and realizing it actually is really good food, it's all healthy, fresh, none of their stuff's frozen, the vegetables, the meat, everything is quality from tasting it. And I like the idea that in a matter of a couple minutes, I can pop it in the microwave, heat up a meal that tastes extremely good, and I have almost no cleanup at all. It very much fits my lifestyle. So if you want to take my recommendation and actually try out their food, head over to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code ATLA50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Again, it's factor75.com, ATLA50 for the discount code. You get 50% off your first Factor box. I'm being straight up with you. High quality, great stuff, not to mention all the variants that they offer. Well over 30 options for meals, over 45 options for snacks. I just went from being a guy that's getting sponsored by them today to I'm a guy that's going to become a client. I will be joining Factor and ordering meals because I'm done with delivery food.
You can see the hood, all the supports we had to redo. Smooth firewall. Cage goes front to back. That's the right way to build a race car so you don't have any flex.
Yep.
The Hydro Shocks I absolutely love with the ride height.
Explain the Hydro Shocks, because I actually read about this because of you guys. At first I thought, well, it's got to be bagged, right? Because you see it raise and lower, but it's a very different concept, is it not?
So it is, and airbags I think are, it's the older way of doing things. There's nothing wrong against airbags, but the new way of doing it is having something like this. What I love about it is you have your normal shock, which is good ride height. You have your compression rebound. You could, that's your everyday driving down the road.
Yeah.
Feels real good.
Yeah.
The second you go to an airbag, that goes away.
Yes.
And it starts to be harsh, and then if the weather's hot, temperatures change, builds pressure, it changes. And so with this, you have your coilover shock with hydraulic over top of it. So it's a hydraulic ram that extends 5 inches. So this whole truck going from where it's at right now, it'll lift an additional 5 inches. Like with the Tacoma, the only bummer about that truck, I can't go over a speed bump because that truck sits about 2 inches off the ground. This truck, we wanted to make a truck that we just fire up and just go. So the power plant from the engine back, it's a fully built 4L80, and ATD makes a valve body that fully makes this thing 100% manual. I not only have my overdrive for freeway, but I control the gears in this. If I want to have it at 6,000 RPM for as long as I want to have it on there,
you can just hold it there.
I could just hold it until I shift. And the second I shift, it's instant. This is just like a manual without a clutch, basically.
Got it.
Which is kind of nice, because like I could throw my wife in here and we just go cruise. And if you're not a racer, they make manual valve bodies that you could leave in auto and still shift. But they're delayed.
And that was the main thing, was you'd want zero delay on it.
When I first drove this truck, the valve body wasn't developed, and I did my first drift. I would shift, and then it would take like a second. And that doesn't probably sound like much, but like when you need it now, it'd be like you hit your brakes and they don't engage for a second.
Yeah, and a second all of a sudden seems like a long time now.
Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't bring up brakes. Why am I talking about brakes? I'm sorry, guys.
Speaking of brakes, what kind of brakes are we running in here, Brad?
DeBerti edition.
Which would be?
Check them out.
It really is DeBerti brakes. Dude, when did you guys do that?
We just did it on
Is that
our own.
along with your shifters? You got the DeBerti shifter,
This
the
was
DeBerti brakes?
We just did it on this one. All headers back. This is full Gibson exhaust. It is muffled. It actually might need a little more.
It's pretty
muffled.
loud.
It's very loud.
Yeah. Usually I would ask, what's your rear end and what's your rear end gearing, but you got two rear ends.
So here's what we have. They're both fully built for 9 inches. Everything's machined to accept a second drive shaft. I am a firm believer of not reinventing the wheel, especially when I have a truck like this, that one, I need to perform the second I build it, and I don't want any problems. So I found a guy that builds all the things for the military that are dual axle. and he actually built the first set of 9-inch.
Dude.
It's just like anything. Like, you can't be the best at everything, and you got to have a team to build it. I have no problem saying, you know, that this truck is built with a lot of those people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
man. Yeah.
So the fabrication part is 100% my dad and I. That's the hard part, along with the vision, because the vision alone on this truck, it's kind of takes a psychopath, I think, to.
Your plan is insane!
When you're looking back here, really there was nowhere to exit the exhaust. The truck sits so low, I can't have the exhaust, you know, below the chassis or anything like that. Like, I couldn't run the exhaust above the axles under the frame rail, because when this thing's so low. So we did a full side exit on both exhausts. I tried to bring as much weight back to the rear as possible because there is no bed. And one of the fears we had is, oh, this thing's gonna be all front heavy because there's not a lot back here.
Yeah.
The fuel cell we designed and built, it's 33 gallons. So we're bringing as much weight back. I didn't need 2 batteries, but I threw 2 batteries back here just for weight.
One for weight.
It's always nice to have, you know, a secondary battery.
Sure, but I get it. Trying to get as much weight as you can back here, because that can't be light.
It's not
big,
light
huge
at all.
engine with the, I mean, really.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
The wing, I wanted just a different, massive, unique wing. For me to get this exact shape, I bet you I made 7 different wing mounts out of plywood. And I would set them on here and just stand back. I'd just be like, no, it's not it. Something's not sitting right with me.
Wow,
It's not
bro.
it. So then I would come and, you know, tape it, redesign it in the computer, step back. Like, we build crazy stuff, but we do it ourselves. So it's not like I'm going and paying someone to build it. My dad and I, the way we build vehicles is we'll put things on and we both stand back just like that. It's just how we do it. The fuel cell I remade 4 times out of plywood. Everything on this truck needs to flow.
I love that you guys have, it explains why your vehicles, all as radical as they all are, they all look really great, because you guys actually put a lot of emphasis on design.
You know, that this whole building vehicles for my dad and I started out as just like family fun, and we still love doing it. But it turned into something much larger very fast. You know, when we got our TV shows and things like that, I had 6 different countries looking at what I was doing instead of just your average car show. And so, So like when that happened, I would have judges come buy my stuff if we're at a car show and literally take out panels, lay under the dash, do everything. When I build things, I know no one will probably never ever see it, but if I have that one dude that rolls over with a screwdriver acting all cocky saying, hey, let me look in there, I'll be like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Make sure to retorque my bolts when you're done.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be confident about what we build.
Sure, man.
And I'm not a crazy CAD guy. So like, I'm old school, I'm tape measure. Like, I could draw in CAD 2D. I'm not a 3-dimensional guy. That's why, you know, on certain things I get help on. But like, even the rear diffuser, this originally was built out of paper and cardboard. I mean, all the way down to exactly how those fins are. Once I finally got it out of cardboard and had it taped on this truck, then what I did is I scaled it in my computer and I literally traced every single part of this to make that.
Give the viewer perspective, if you can even think it through. How much time do you have into just that diffuser?
Oh, that's days.
Like full days committed to just that.
12-hour days.
I love the guys like you that are willing to go to the full extent, so the enthusiast like me gets to go, wow.
So that's awesome to hear. And like I told you, like I might maybe have one of my friends, if they have a free hour or so, come help me weld. My team is very small. My dad and I were not these geniuses like you see a lot of these big car builders with. They have in-house CAD guys, all this, you know, crazy machines and stuff. We're just 2 good old boys, you know. Like, I'm literally like, I always get kids come up to me saying, dude, you inspired me. I don't know CAD.
Isn't that
He's
great?
all, I didn't know you could just take paper and do that.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's cool.
You love like knowing that what you do inspires someone else to go out and maybe you never see their vehicle, but just knowing that.
Oh, 100%. You know. Every line in this truck, from wiring to any overflows, anything like that, is actually ran through the frame, so you don't see it. So like,
I started noticing that while we're standing here talking, how it goes through, and the amount of time.
It hurts to look at this truck.
Because you know what it took.
But now it's enjoyable. Like honestly, like there is times where you get frustrated. It's like anything, you know, you're working on your house, and you know, most people start house projects, and I bet you like 5% of people actually finish the house project. This, we get wore out, but at the end of the day, the cool part is my dad, we're best buds, and we keep each other on a good level all day. And I think that's why it's like we finish, you know, and it's fun. The interior on this truck, I just wanted to keep simple. The floor pan, I built the whole thing to look smooth. The trans tunnel, I built like kind of like a trophy truck. It's real high to hold
much so,
holds the shifter and the handbrake. I kept the factory dash. I wanted to keep it like a factory feel truck inside.
Yeah.
We have all O&P race seats, and it's straightforward. It's nothing crazy.
What's the dash? Is that a Motec or something else?
It's AEM Electronics.
Okay.
Scosche, they make a lot of phone mounts. They actually came out with this matrix system. That's what my ignition and everything's ran on. So it's full push button. So you turn on an ignition, I could turn on all my fans from it. And it also has redundancies built into it to where if it hits certain temperatures on the motor and things like that, it automatically turns everything on.
Gotcha.
And the other cool part is I found it's another mom and pop place that makes all carbon fiber parts. So Muncie Speed made all the carbon parts. So you see like behind the dash, these panels, the glove box, and he makes them all out of his garage.
Really?
So it's like I could have gone to some gnarly, massive company.
Sure.
But it's like
instead
as
give the business to a small business.
As
right?
much as I could give a small business,
Yeah.
I do it 100%.
Another thing on it, dude, we never talked about color. We were talking about it off camera.
This truck is fully painted matte black. Once we did our first burnout,
Yeah.
I cleaned this truck to an extent, but because I use it, it lives half its life, all its life, with rubber on it.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
So we rewrapped the whole truck matte black. The reason is so we're not having to repaint the whole truck because the paint process.
Something gets ugly enough, pull the wrap.
Just peel it, rewrap it. I'm a firm believer in that from all the race cars. Once you mess up paint, you're repainting the whole truck, and to paint matte black is not an easy task.
Wheel setup, and I remember being one of many that chimed in on Instagram when you were picking colors. I was red all the way.
So here's what's funny. You look in the shop, you look at anything I've done in the past.
There's no red.
No red.
No.
And when I put this truck up, it was like something crazy, like 60 or 70% red. The guy Govad that actually machined these wheels, he's another mom and pop place as well. And I said, hey, is there something crazy we could do with like the red? Like, I don't want to just do it red. Like, it needs to be like vibrant.
Yeah.
This red is actually, they polish and then sand all the edges of the wheel. So when you look at it, you can see it's polished and then it's brushed like slightly.
Dude, I never noticed that until right now.
So it's actually a transparent red powder coat.
It's so great, man. I just noticed that it says DeBerti and C10 Slayer on
Oh,
it.
you did? You know, that's what you get out of a mom and pop place. I didn't even ask him to do that.
That extra little love, the extra
Yeah.
care.
And when I opened up the wheels, I'm like, oh my gosh. It was one of the best days building this truck.
That's so neat.
Yeah.
What are wheel tire sizes?
So I've had to switch the tires on this truck a few times because after we built it, we had a wheel hopping issue. The tire was a big part of it. I used to run a Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2. It's what they would use on, GT3, GT4 cars. It is the stickiest tire. And that was a major part of our problem because
Because it was sticking so much.
once we would light up the tires, it would grip so gnarly that it would vibrate the truck and it would send the axles into this crazy wheel hop. I'm talking, it was so crazy. I ripped, see the mounts holding the wing on? It ripped those off the tailgate.
From vibration.
Oh, it was intense. I switched to Michelin Pilot Sport 4 and it's an SUV and it's not as gnarly. Like, this is a drivable street tire.
Got it.
The ones I had on there, they looked better. They were 15 inches wide. These ones are a little narrower. They're about 13 and a half. But this is what works on the truck.
Got it.
I have fun with this truck.
Yeah.
I'm going on Hot Rod Power Tour with HP Tuners
Right.
in 2 days. So I can't get too crazy, but
Yeah.
we'll go have fun with you guys and we'll roast the tires and have a good time.
Perfect, man. Well, why don't we go do that, you guys? And remember, like, subscribe to both channels. That power washer, it's up for grabs, man. Thanks
Well,
for the generosity.
Oh,
on
anytime.
yourself
I think
for doing that.
whoever gets it they're gonna get a real special piece because my dad and I, we build those.
All right, dude, let's go drive it, man.
Let's go try it.
Okay, I'm in. I'm in. Yeah.
Hey, do you think that that's a blind spot by chance or no?
I don't know. I can't see over there.
See how loud it is? And we're just barely
It
going.
whines really good.
Yeah.
It sounds so cool.
And I love, see the manual linkage?
Oh, yeah, dude.
That's one thing I love about this truck.
That's so bitchin'. Man, this has got to look like a freak show coming down the road.
People are probably like, what is that, dude?
And of course, you hear it a mile away before it shows up.
On the outside of this, all you hear is the blower whine. It's just wah!
Yeah. How's it? Do that again? Wow, it really feels like a manual.
Yeah.
Do you ever drift and grab the brake?
No, because it's still like, there's movement, it knocks my pads out a little bit. So the first pull is a little, I gotta still dial that part in. Really, I need a dedicated caliper. To get this truck to work, the foot pedal is all front brake. I disconnected the rears. This is rears. So if we ever lost brakes, I have
You
rears.
at least got something to
Yeah.
scrub speed on,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh, this would stop us. That's 4 calipers
Oh,
in the rear.
right.
Listen.
So good.
Sounds like a jet.
It really does. It's wild. I mean, that is a massive blind spot, dude.
Oh, dude. I might have to ask you for turning. Hey, are we clear up there?
Yeah, seriously, bro.
You're like, I can stop us quick if I need it.
Oh, wow, yeah. And that was all rear brake?
Both. That'll look cool on that GoPro.
Yeah, totally. Oh my God, this thing's so amazing, bro. Dude, between downshift braking, this sucker stops hard, huh?
Yeah, I can make it stop
hard.
pretty hard, yeah.
Does it auto rev match or is that you rev match?
That's me.
It is.
I'm just used to, it's a habit. Feel it hook up?
Yeah. Yeah, it really. Yeah.
Little RPM bop?
That's awesome, man.
Why is power so much fun?
I don't know, man, but it sure as hell is a lot of fun. super rad, bro. Maybe we can just go back. They'll meet us back there. No? You're feeling like something else. You look pretty serious right now, dude.
Never let anyone drive, but if you want to drive back, you can.
Really?
They'll wreck my truck.
Dude, I mean, I promise I'll go super chill, mellow. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, dude.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm excited, man.
Don't crash us.
I promise I won't. I'll be super mellow. I'm not even gonna try. When I do donuts, I'm just gonna do one spin. I don't want to do like all of them. Dude.
All right, so hold the brake pedal hard. Yep. So that's first, yep. Oh, and there you go. Way to F it up.
I'm done. He won't let me
Wow.
drive anymore.
Wow.
I already stalled it.
All right, start it.
How do you stall an automatic?
It must be the driver. So let's get going, huh?
Gas it all?
Let off. Kill the key. Key on. Look at that, you guys. Sean said he wasn't gonna hurt the truck, and now look what you did.
I didn't even do anything.
See the fuel pump button?
Yeah.
Hit it. Oh. Oh, hold on. I have a fuel pump, bro. Way to F it up. Oh, dude, what'd you do?
Everything?
Way to go, Sean.
Okay, but here what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna get real straight, real honest. So
Sean broke the truck. I drove it here, let him drive it 5 feet, and he broke it.
here's the truth. Brad says, never let anybody drive the truck. You wanna drive the truck?
Did I say it like that?
Yeah, you did.
With my head like this?
Yeah. You never let anyone drive the truck. But what he did was he rigged it so that I could not drive it. So as soon as I sat down and squeezed myself into his tiny little belt for his teeny little body, the truck dies.
First off, the GoPros was in there, and they could see I didn't do anything. You rigged it, and you broke it. Now you owe me a truck. As said in Fast and Furious, you owe me a 10-second car.
I said a 10-second car, not a 10-minute car.
That, my friends, is the end of our shoot with Brad DeBerti. Remember, subscribe to both channels, like this video, comment on the video telling us your favorite part of the C10 Slayer, other than the part where it breaks down. And you
Hey, that's
win.
gonna be everyone's favorite part.
That's gonna be everyone's favorite part. And you could potentially win the DeBerti pressure washer, 1 of 1 for Autotopia LA.
No, I'm excited to give this to one of you guys. Thanks for coming out, dude.
Dude.
This guy's like family now. We met quite a while ago. The Tacoma episode was fun, but you guys have a blessed day, and thank you so much for watching.
Couldn't say it any better.
Now I gotta fix the truck.